Hello there. This is week 2 complete for my improvement blog. I am the Pathwalker and I upload weekly videos talking about how I'm trying to improve myself, my life overall. This is going to be a very big week video, I guess, which I talk about because this week didn't go well at all. And you know, I've had a lot of time thinking about like what this all means to me. And before we get into actually talking about what happened in the week and all the nitty-gritty and the specifics of um, why I'm saying it wasn't um, a good week and talking about what we have planned for the next week, I I feel like I have this very important shift that I'm going through, and I want to talk about it. I contemplated, and I still am contemplating releasing a video on its own, talking about that outside of the weekly series. I'll still think about it. Before I do get into that, I do want to just quickly say last week's video, so week 1, I felt like the video was a little bit too long, and I do apologize. I don't know how long this video is going to end up being. Um, I don't really want it to get to the point that they're like 30-minute videos or more or anything like that. Yes, it's a weekly update compared to a daily update, so it makes sense that it is longer than just a daily video that I used to do. But I still want it to be more kind of compact and not me kind of rambling as much as I normally do. It's tough though because I do still want to kind of have a very natural, raw, authentic way that I talk about things that's not like pre-planned or pre-scripted. So forgive me if the lengths are a little bit too long because I don't know, I just think some people, like, oh my God, I'm not going to sit here and watch a 40-minute video right now. You know what I mean? Um, but, and maybe just as a suggestion, I do it sometimes, depending on how fast the person talks. I don't know how fast I talk in these type of videos, but you could speed it up a little bit if it kind of helps, you know. Just felt like getting that out there, but it is something that I'm aware of, and it's something that I am trying to, make the videos more compact. So, and I say that we're already at 3 minutes. So here we go. Um, this week has been really tough on me because it was it, I did worse than I did the first week. And the whole point of these kind of videos is that I'm constantly progressing, constantly moving forward. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some nuance to this and what I've been kind of going through. And there's a lot, so I don't really know how I'm going to properly cover everything because there's so many things. But I really just want to say it because I think it really is the most important thing for me to improve myself, for me to grow. And I think that anybody who would be going in a similar situation, um, I think it's the number one thing that needs to be addressed before you can start actually making other types of progress. I think I've talked about this topic before, but basically, this series can focus a lot like, okay, I have these set of priorities, I have these set of things that I want to work on, sleeping, eating, working out, career, hobbies, family, romantic. These are the things. This is what I'm doing to get better in those areas. Boom, 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 boom. Keep going at it one by one by one by one. Grind, 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 right? But I think there's other layer to life and us as individuals that goes beyond just kind of trying to improve whatever it is that we're working on. And um, that's what I'm going to kind of try to talk about right now. So, with that preamble out of the way, I basically, for those who don't know, if this is the first time you're watching, I struggle deeply with pornography and masturbation, and ever since a very, very young age. And it's been something that I've been focusing on, trying to fix and stop for a very long time, and had some successes here and there, but mostly it's been really rough for me. And I'm slowly kind of understanding where it comes from more, how my mind works about it. And I've essentially come down to the point of just understanding it's a habit that I picked up as a response to when I was very young, having an escape from negative feelings when I was a child. Um, because when I engage in that activity, I'm in a happy place. I'm in a pleasured state of mind. I'm not thinking about the negative stuff. I can always escape to this. And so it became something that I could go to. Another thing that I used to go to all the time, video games. Anytime, like I would always be like, oh, it doesn't matter how bad things are at school or people don't like me or whatever it might be. I always can just go play video games or watch anime or masturbate. Those were kind of my ways that I coped with what I had. And I'm sure there's other more complex coping things that took place, but those were present. I've also come to, while I'm not a proponent of self-diagnosing oneself, I strongly suspect that I have ADHD, and I'm thinking of having like a proper test done about it. I don't look at ADHD in a way as like, oh, I have a disability of some sort, or, this is really hard on me. I think there's pros and cons to ADHD personally. But that said, I think that the way that ADHD clashed with these escapist activities that I had since I was a kid have made a big portion of my life very difficult. Because when you have ADHD, you can get very distracted by things and and you lose time awareness, and you can just end up spending so much time into something like those escapist things and not being so aware of other uh, things that I should be doing. Now, I recently figured out that one thing that's leading to me having a very unproductive day is the way that both those things, the escapist thing into pornography or video games, combined with ADHD, creates a very negative downward spiral for that day and possibly a series of days, which I've been having right now. I should have probably said this earlier in the video, but I'm recording this video extremely late. I should be recording this on a Sunday evening. It is now Tuesday evening, 3:30 a.m. So we're really, really late. Obviously, the sleep situation is clearly not good. But the downward spiral that I'm talking about works like this. I wake up in the morning. Depending on the state of mind that I'm in, whether I gave into pornography and I feel like shit and I'm tempted to give into it again that morning, or I open my phone because I'm feeling too tired to get up and do the things that I need to do, I my ADHD ends up tunneling in on whatever that is, and that could be, scrolling videos or watching some random video that's longer, but or pornography. And then what I notice is, and maybe I even wake up late, and that could already be the first downward trigger. So let's say I wanted to wake up at 9 a.m. Instead of waking up at 9 a.m., I end up waking up at 10 a.m. I'm now feeling a little bit shit because I'm like, wow, I should have woken up an hour ago. I don't like this feeling that I failed in a way. Let me escape from this negative feeling by going on my phone or looking at porn or playing a video game, turning on my computer and starting to play a video game. Then what ends up happening, however much time I spend, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, who knows, I then see, oh my God, it's 11 a.m. or it's 12 p.m. I'm so behind my day. I should be, working out. I should be showering. I should be eating. I should be doing the things that I need to be doing. And I'm so behind now. And I got to work out. And, that resistance, I don't really feel like working out right now. I feel terrible. Let me escape again into something else. And that goes into, it keeps going worse and worse and worse. Suddenly it's 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. and I still haven't eaten anything. And I'm feeling like shit. Oh, I guess I'm just going to order some. I'm getting hungry to some degree. Let me pay for some expensive money and order some, Uber Eats and, you know, uh, do that. That's kind of what I noticed I've been really struggling with. And I think that my explanation for it is probably how it really happens. So one of the solutions that I feel like I have to this is trying to eliminate as many things as I can from letting myself get distracted. That's why a big thing that I want to do is always have my phone in another room before I go to bed and before uh, and I keep it outside of my room until after I've finished my morning routine so I don't get distracted by the phone. That also now extends to the computer because what I noticed was, oh, okay, I'll have my phone there, but then I'm like, okay, well, I'll just turn on my computer and kind of do the same thing. So now I'm understanding, no, we can't turn on the computer. The phone, I even feel like putting it in the basement because what I do is my ideal morning routine, I start with going on the inversion table and that's in the basement. So that if I have my phone right there, I have to go all the way there. Walking that distance probably wakes me up more to actually do what I need to do. I'm not going to go all the way to the basement and not go on the inversion table, right? But that kind of gets my day started. So there's those variables of what I can do kind of to avoid me from getting distracted into something that's going to suck time and do that negative spiral. But then there's the deeper part. And the deeper part in a lot of ways has to do with addressing the issues that I have about myself and my identity from when I was a kid and as I grew older that still affect me to this day. I'm open to sharing these things because there's just something I find valuable. Uh, I just don't think too many people, I don't really know of people that are open to share the kind of things that I'm about to share right now. And I have shared them a little bit past, but I really struggle with feelings of being confident in myself, feelings of feeling worthy, feelings of being someone of value, someone that's desirable to others. And I noticed that this happened, I believe, because of things that happened when I was a kid, where I got in trouble with teachers that were not allowing me to express myself properly, where I was not able to fit in properly. And I'm not saying these things as a kind of to use that as an excuse for what it is, but that's my belief for how things came to be. The problem is that intellectually I can see, hey, that's the past, whatever happened, and all those things. There were unfortunate circumstances that led to you having certain difficulties, which led to other harder circumstances. You found a way to cope that is now harmful for you right now, but you are not a inferior to others kind of person. You are not a weak person. You are not a unlovable person. I can intellectually say that, but for me to really feel it is a different story. And the problem, I think, is when I do end up getting those feelings that come up, and they can be triggered by certain things that happen. It could come up from multiple different things. But when they come up, I feel terrible, right? And what is my built-in method when I feel terrible? Escape. What do I want to escape to? Pornography. And I have my whole ritual and things that I do, and I can spend a whole day just dedicated to just that. And then I feel bad about myself even more. Oh man, you had all these great you were good for this amount of days, and then you gave in, and then now everything is, you know, we're a failure. Um, it's going to be hard to get started again. These are the thoughts that come in that make this process so difficult. So I believe that I this really is the focus for me. While it's good for me to improve in the areas that I talk about in this series that I already mentioned, while it's good to, okay, improve this part of your life, this, and this, right? This part of me needs to um, get resolved. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's not something that I know everything I need to, but I recently just happened to watch a video from Dr. K. I don't know if anyone knows about Dr. K, where he starts talking about something about the shadow and incorporating your shadow. I'm not going to get into the whole explaining what that is and too much here, but um, it's a Jungian concept. He talked about it, and I thought what he talked about there, I felt really applied to me. And the solution that he mentioned for someone in my situation is for me to start being as aware as I can be of negative judgments that I have on people, on things that get me really negative thinking about something. Because the reason that I probably have such a strong response to those things is because there's a part of me that I don't like about myself that I'm trying to seal away. And I need to explore that. I need to let that out. I need to let that part of me open to feeling whatever negative feelings come up about myself and let it breathe instead of trying to shut it out. So that currently is my main focus as of this moment. I'm prioritizing that more so than any of the other things that I've talked about. Um, I will say, for what it's worth, and I wanted to say this earlier, but I I do think that the way that I've been progressing is actually the way that things needed to play out. I start week 0, okay, we're going to start doing this. I have my plan, we're going to start doing this. We have some successes, we have some failures, but I'm thinking, okay, let's go. Let's keep at it. Week 2 comes around already fairly quickly. We're starting to run into it. We ran into a really big hurdle, a deep one. And I'm like starting to have doubts. And what am I going to do? And that led to me now digging deep to addressing something that I believe is the most important thing that needs to be addressed. So this is where we're at right now. Um, I'm curious if you guys have any thoughts. Um, I'm curious if you guys have any thoughts about what I just said. I'd love to hear them if anyone's open enough to share if they happen to have something like that, because I value that connection. Um, to be there. And I want to be really transparent and honest about this process that I'm going through, in the sense of not just what I just said, but more specifics, right? Like one of the things that I notice that I have is I have a very big resistance to people doing what's trendy. That's something that I have a fairly strong negative judgment. When I see someone that is doing something that is very trendy, and I have this massive thing where I hate people being sheep. I hate people doing what everybody else is doing. And the truth is, I think this really isn't. It's crazy because it's the first day that I've ever really thought about it this way. Because I always thought, yeah, I think it's stupid that people just follow what other people. Oh, they're followers, they're sheep. They just, they're not. They don't think for themselves. I'm the lone wolf. I'm more independent. I'm more authentic. I'm more, you know, me. But I think what ended up happening was, um, I struggled to connect with people when I was young. I struggled in peer-to-peer settings like friends at school and that kind of thing. And I would see people that kind of n- were more trendy or knew what was cool to do. And I think at the time I just struggled to do that as well for whatever reason. And I think that that got me to hate that part of myself. I don't like the fact that I can't be like other people and be part of what other people are doing and uh, be respected by other people or be liked by other people the way I see others being liked. And I didn't like that feeling. And I ended up adapting to that by saying, oh, no, these guys at some point, and I think it started around when I got to high school, where I started really being more having that thought about these people are losers, always doing the trendy thing, always this, always that, oh, all that. But really, there's a part of me that just hated the fact that I struggled to do that. And it could have been a struggle not because I was unable to, but maybe because I didn't try it or because I tried to express myself in my own way and that got rejected and that made me feel bad. But part of what Dr. K talked about is that's the shadow in me that resents this part of me, that hates that part of myself, right? The solution is for me to put myself in situations where this can come up. And that is social situations where people are doing certain things and being exposed to people and situations where people might be judging me and seeing whether I can fit in or not. It's not, in my opinion, supposed to be um, like I'm putting myself in a good place. I still, and it's tough because it's weird for me because there really is a part of me that just doesn't like people doing things because other people are doing them. And I think it's hard for me to be able to overcome that. But if I do really reflect honestly, I can think about times where there are certain things that I notice that other people do that I do like. Take, for example, these dancing classes that I started. That's a thing that people do, right? Maybe it's not as popular and like everyone does it, right? But it's a thing that people do, and I want to be part of the people that do that, you know? So clearly, just because people want to do something, there's nothing wrong with me wanting to do it. There's nothing wrong with me kind of joining in on that. Take certain fashion things that I just started doing. I started doing this skin fade style with my hair. that is kind of a more trendy thing. And, an older part of me was like, I'm not doing what all these other people are doing. I'm going to do me. I'm going to be unique in my way. But unfortunately, I think that really is the resentful me that is actually just hiding the true part of me that resents struggling to fit in with others or connect with others. And it's kind of just like a screw the world kind of mindset. And I don't like that mindset. I don't think it is healthy. And so eh, I think one of the things I wanted to do this year is like try to say yes to as many things as possible and just do as many things as I can whenever people invite me to something and all of that and a lot more than that. But I think that's a really good starting point for me and being hopeful, being hopeful that I can do this. I can just express myself, and there will be times that some people won't like what I'm doing, and that's okay. And just accepting that, seeing that I'm okay, and being like, it's okay. I'm okay. There's nothing wrong with me as a person. And I think once I get to that point where I can feel that confidence, again, I can intellectually talk about that, but I understand that I need to actually go through that experience for a prolonged period of time until I can feel it in my body, in my bones, that I'm okay. And at that point, I think everything else starts to just go up once I get to that point. So I'm happy because I feel really good about that plan. I really do. It makes a lot of sense to me. And so um, that's my that's my goal going forward. That's what I'm going to be really focusing on. Um, and yeah, so I know we're at 27 minutes now, and I didn't even talk about what even happened in my week so much, but I just feel like that is what I just said was the most important part of this current journey that I'm in. Now that said, let's quickly talk about um, just cover this part because even though that is what I'm going to be doing, I would like to still have this aspect a little bit more. And one of the things that I think I'm going to be doing to me for myself is now that I understand that what I just said is my number one priority, that is the priority, and I'm not going to put as much weight and pressure on myself to hit as many of these other things as I can. That's what I'm going to try right now. So, what happened? A healthy self-talk. Basically, I mean, the no porn or sexual stimulation, this really kind of tells the story over here. Essentially, I don't know if it was Wednesday. These might be a little bit off, actually. I thought it was Thursday, but it doesn't really matter. Um, I had something that kind of came out of nowhere in the related to pornography that triggered me to jump back into it, and I broke the streak that I had, which had been going for about 4 days, I think, or five. And then I said, okay, no, we gave in, but now I'm going to get right back to it. And I had a good day, and then I failed again. A good day, failed again, and then now we're Tuesday, and these last 2 days, actually Monday was good, but today was not good. Sleep, I did have 2 days where sleep was good, but overall the sleep didn't work well. And sorry, regarding the healthy self-talk, I got in a pretty dark place at one point, even though there's pluses here. I mean, look, guys, the point of the no porn or sexual stimulation is we're talking a full streak. We're talking about doing 90 days. So the fact that we had like 3 failures in 1 week is like, it's not like, oh, look, there's 4 pluses and 3 minuses. We're more. It's not like that. It's like this really, in a way, shows that I was not in a good state of mind. And this ended up impacting this, which impacted this, which impacted this, and this. Look, phone in the other room. We only had one day where we properly like did this. So the phone was very bad. That impacted my eating. We were able to work out enough. I was supposed to do a new adventure, but I passed on it because I was just in a negative state of mind, and I just had multiple days of especially these negative days over here where I kind of just did almost nothing in those days. I did have, let's talk about a few positives. I was social on 2 occasions. First of all, I consider going to these dance classes and talking as a social thing. I also ended up having my car fixed, and I ended up staying there for like over 5 hours, and there were people my age to talk to, and there was a girl too, which is why I'm putting romantic progress actually as a plus, surprisingly, because I ended up kind of getting a girl's phone number. I know that sounds like a big deal. Ooh, big guy. I mean, I didn't really make a move, and I didn't like compliment her so much or whatever, and I'm still like, I don't know if I really want to pursue that. I kind of just I found an opportunity to kind of just get the phone number and send a text message. So I went for it. And yeah, it was cool. And it was basically just a book recommendation. Maybe I'll text her, maybe I'll say, hey, did you end up ordering the thing and who knows what, and maybe just randomly asking, hey, do you want to go out or something? You never know. Um, I'll think about that and I'll update you guys in the next video. Career progress. Yeah, this was not good. We only streamed once. I want to stream at least 3 days a week, and I only streamed once. Quality family time is actually good. I'm actually quite happy with this. The quality family times is a surprising thing that has been very easy to set up, and I'm very happy. I'm spending both time with my dad and my mom. They're divorced, and my sister. The Learn Japanese was the new thing that we had. I only had one day where I read some of it. I mean, somewhat a decent amount, but it was not, this is not a priority for me given what it is. If I have time to do it, sure, but for now, we're just going to leave it as is. I didn't get buy the necklace and the bracelet. I didn't do the business writing stuff that I wanted to do. I only streamed one day. I didn't do any progress on the room in the basement. I did, however, clean my mom's bathtub, thankfully. Just got that out of the way done. Um, and that's it. So, what do we have for week 3? Um, again, I'm going to leave the things as they are right now, but I'm not going to be as hard on myself. The number one things I want to focus on is, again, this healthy self-talk, probably re-listening to this video at the first half of this video where I was talking about what I need to do to remind myself of what's most important that I need to prioritize, which is feeling good about myself deep down. I would like the no porn and healthy sleep. This to me, I mean, really, those three, and it's no coincidence that these are right at the top in my mind. I think all three of these are probably the most important out of anything else. I consider making career progress, and I would like to stream somewhat as well, but this to me is the most important stuff. If I can get all three of these positives, I don't care if all of these other things are negatives. I really don't. And maybe I can just really think about that. Maybe I could just tell myself, hey, let's just get these things. And that actually reminds me of me, I talked about this last time, but maybe, really focusing on instead of trying to do so many things at once, let's really start prioritizing the most important stuff first and get those, solidified before really putting so much pressure on other things. And because of that, um, while like to me, completing my morning routine is so important because like I talked about, if I slip and I'm on my phone in the morning and I feel bad, I'm more likely to, try to escape into something I shouldn't be doing, then my day gets all ruined. I noticed that one of the things that stops me from really finishing my morning routine is the workout portion. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't really feel like doing it right now. Let me watch a video, and then time goes by, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm not feeling like doing the workout, let's just shower, eat, get our clothes on, you know, uh, maybe go outside. Let's just do that. I'd rather just do that and not have worked out on a day I was supposed to work out than stall working out and not get my day started. I think that's what I'm going to um, have to do. Apart from that, from one and dones, honestly, I'm not even I'm not even gonna think about these other things. I'm gonna put those like if I do extras. I mean, I would still like to stream at least 3 days if I can, and start working on the basement because it's taking too long at this point. But that's it. That's it in terms of what I want to do. This. I guess I'll also add go to social dance on Sunday. There's a dance thing. It's not a lesson. It's like a for people practicing dance. It's like a social event where you just start dancing for about 2 hours. That happens on Sundays, and I think that would be great if I could go to. I should have gone to it last Sunday, but I was just not and having a good day, so I didn't. Okay, I think this video is slightly shorter than the last one. Again, it was longer, but I think what I talked about was the most important thing I've talked about so far. So I think it is warranted to have been this long. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Um, and again, I apologize for being 2 days delayed on this video. I really don't want to do it. I really want to upload every Sunday. And I just want to say, I think that just the fact that I'm committed to uploading these videos helps me get back if I go down the dark path too much and, regain my focus. So in a weird way, I'd like to thank you guys because just the fact that this video and this opportunity I have to upload these videos for you guys to hear me out and just allow me to express myself as I'm working through this, it's very helpful to me. So thank you. But yeah, with that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.